dumb and they're smart, but it's nothing different. You already know what your problems are in the house. You go to the counselor for them to give you exercises, practices that you could implement to improve your marriage, not for your problems to be magnified. That's not why you go to.
No, no, I'm not saying like it doesn't magnify it, but at the same time, the thing is because once they found out in there, like, oh well, I knew this was not gonna work out. Like later on down the road, because if something came up, right, you can still know the problems within the man, like whatever that person has, they don't clean up after themselves. You know that. You already know this. But for some reason, you're like, nah, we still won't get married. We still won't see how it goes. But then during the marriage, the other person was like, yo, I'm really getting tired of this. Like, I always speak up after this person. And every little thing now they do, because you're so tired, it's like a small fire. And then every little thing adds to the gasoline now. You know what I mean? You add gasoline to the fire. The fire was already there. How do you put it out? But for some reason, I don't know how people go through the counseling, and then even after that, they then get married, but then the divorce comes later on, and when they're asked, did you know this was gonna happen? They're like, yeah, during like a marriage counselor, I kind of felt this or X, Y, and Z. Which, like you said, they do get exercises to go and improve. But humans, we're gonna be humans. We're gonna be like, nah, we good. You know, your shorty's still gonna tell you like, we good. I must still convince myself that this is the person, because you have to understand there are not that many options, especially once you've locked in an engagement with somebody. Not really, especially for women. It's not like that many options. Like men are not just like queuing up, like unless she's like fine. You get me? Like even fine women, if you tell people that they're engaged, most men are gonna be like, all right, let me kind of wait and see how this shit goes. But at the end of the day, you know, the whole point about this is we both support, you know, marriages, and especially in our community, Black community and even the African community in general, to be specific, Salon community, to be specific, God damn it. It's all about, because marriage builds family, and two-parent household definitely make a kid that the life that they will have will be a little bit more better. It's not, no gotta be you say, oh well, I was raised by a single. No, that's not the point. The point is for people to find someone and then get married. You know what I mean? You know, if people have to find someone,
because you gotta be careful now. What you just said, it's like a definitive statement that you made, because there's some people who were raised in a home where divorce had taken place. Like, for instance, I always reference the most successful Black man that I know, Obama. His mother and father had a divorce, and he was raised by his mother, grandmother. So really, even though he was successful, but they're still more likely to not be successful when they don't have any father in the home and things of that nature. So don't get somebody.
No, it's not that. Because you can't. It's like, for example, the exception doesn't make the rule. That's just what it is in life. Like, just because there's this exceptional, situations. Like he turned out to be great, everything is fine, he's still married. Married, have kids, but that exception still doesn't make the rule, because other people don't have the opportunities, afforded to him and things like that. So that's why I don't even want to get into all of that. Right. So we're gonna wrap up here. So what are your final words? And
final words. I like the concept of contract marriage. It seems like it's an option that it shouldn't be an objective concept, like the one that encompasses. No, it should just be something that is subjective. You want to do it, you do it. But let's not make it a thing. Let's not go on social media, write a letter to Congress and be like, hey, just like what you guys did for Obama, whatever you legalize, can you please legalize this one too? No.
Okay.
We're not going to do that. I think always, if you were to weigh the two, traditional marriage would have more benefits than contractual marriage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think people should spend time to get to know each other before they get into a marriage.
Yeah.
People should sit down and ask each other important questions,
Facts.
Facts. Including their credit scores. You know, it's very important to know your potential partner's credit score.
Facts.
You don't want to experience any financial distress with them. It's very important to ask what are your beliefs, what is your discipline method if we were to have a kid.
Yeah.
You know, so that way you're not surprised by when you find out the person is a psychopath. You know, because certain behavioral attributes can lead to someone being a psychopath. You know, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. You know, little bad habits can lead to that. I do hope that we never get to the point in life where contractual marriage is the one and only option that we have. Yes.
Hey man, listen.
That's it. No further comments.
Okay, I should close this thing. Okay. I mean, definitely, I don't think it's something that I want to be the norm, but at the same time, the traditional way right now is not, it's breaking down where people are married and then the next thing you know, they're in the divorce courts. I don't think the government will make contractual marriages legal or anything. It's not about being legal or being like the norm. You get me? Because as humans, we create the norm at some point. Like, we're going to get to a point where we create a certain norm, which right now it's you can get married and you can get divorced, and now you want it. You can go into this contract, and hey, if you choose not to be in it anymore.
Not to interrupt, you do realize you'll be cheating the system, right? If you want to do contractual, because the reason why they established
yeah,
right,
yeah,
you gotta go to court, sign that, because they're gonna benefit from that. Even when you file the taxes, when you own properties together, so they're not gonna let you cheat the system by doing this. It's like a rental vehicle.
Exactly. See,
they're not gonna let you do that. Just so you know.
Exactly. So it's a thing of when you look at it from outside looking in. Marriages do make the government money. It don't matter if you stay married or you're out of it. But even when contractual marriage, you're still gonna be paying your taxes and things like that. You will still be on there. It's just to avoid that going to court, and putting all these little premises around. Oh, we drag in the divorce. There's no money to get the divorce, so now somebody's kind of just stuck. Or this person is still married, but now they're messing with somebody else. And that's creating more sin. No matter how you want to look at it, you creating sin, because if these two people cannot get a divorce and they're living together, they're not happy anymore. But now somebody's stepping out like, I'm gonna pay my own half of the bill, but I'm gonna be fucking someone else, shorty, like, because we don't have the money to get this divorce. Or you dragging the divorce on. Okay, cool. I'm gonna be with some other guy though. Or I'm going to be with some other girl, because you dragging a divorce on. Whenever you ready, go ahead, sign the papers. So to avoid that, that's why I say, if we can make it in any way a contract where it ends, like a driver's license, and you just renew it, and I think that will eliminate a lot of pain from people going to court and going through those phases of. That's why some people they'll be married and then they get a divorce, and then you ask them, you get married again? They'd be like, not anytime soon. Nah, because to be honest, marriage does, at the end of the day, the older you get, you do need companionship. Like this life, you can't go into them 50s, 60s, like you by yourself. Yeah, you can live by yourself where you want. You can be independent, travel. You know what I mean? Have fun out here, but once the age start hitting that 40, 50,
it's not fun.
Yeah, because you can't go to the club. You at the club, everybody know you 50. Like, no matter how much you get, everybody know you're 40. Like, it don't matter how much you put on. It don't matter how fit you look. You get me? Like, you can be as fit as Cristiano. Like, but for men, it might work out. But regardless of it, people will know. Like, even you yourself, you'll feel it in you, like, yo, I need somebody where I wake up that person is there. When you wake up and you go, my back, and the person go, you good? Like, what was that?
So you just said for men, it may be okay. So in a way, you're implying that marriage is for women, because ultimately,
Well, marriage is really.
because a 40-year-old can still be a player, you know. Man, a 40-year-old man can still be a player. 40-year-old women, depending on what her body looks like.
She ain't gonna make it out here. Them boys are gonna smack. They're gonna knock the dust off that pussy. But you get me, like that's the whole point of it. So if you get older, then marriage is really it really is for women though. It really is. It really is, because for men, we are more. You know how it goes, like especially like the only people that can really sit down and take their own life, like to do it, like based on studies, men, like suicide rates, it's easy for like a guy to be like, man, I'm tired of this world, exit, you know.
Yeah.
So, but for women really need that companionship. They need someone at least there with them. Women that live by themselves or like independent, that's all coming from like some place of insecurity, and deep down it hurts, because if shorty don't really have someone, and even if she get married, that's why even when women get divorced, they always want to get married again.
Right.
And you be like, what, you married? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, I want to get married again. Like, what the fuck you mean?
Right.
So, and every woman that's been married, it don't matter how it went, they still want to go back into it, because they know the security it provides, and they know there's somebody there. You can have kids. You surely can have kids, but they know the kids got to go. They got to leave the house.
Yeah.
You get me? So I think if we can find a way, I mean, there got to be a way for where we combat the whole divorce thing. But if the government making money, I don't think I'm gonna give you something that's easy exit. Like,
because there's no child support factor when you do the contractual thing.
No.
And at that point, the government is not really
that
involved in things of that nature, you know. But ultimately, I think we can agree that this contractual thing should be an option.
No, yeah.
It shouldn't be superior over traditional marriage. Traditional marriage has been around for a very long time. Even the divorce that you're referring to, man. Even in the Bible, God said He divorced Himself from Israel.
So that's another thing. That's how people be using it when they want to get divorced. But God said He did that, so it's like no. God
When He said the only grounds for divorce is not irreconcilable differences. It's infidelity.
Yeah. And
even that, He said only the woman should take the initiative and get divorced. If the man, there's nowhere in the Bible where it says when the man cheats on the woman. When the woman cheats on the man, he should leave. No, it says when the man cheats, the woman has the opportunity to leave.
The man.
Right. So I'm like.
So you see it.
Yeah. So
you see it. So that means y'all ain't married. But that's the thing though. Men do stay in marriages. Like we don't. Men never really look for like an exit. Even if they cheat or their wife cheat, men always want to stay, because for a man, like giving our word, sometimes it means a lot. Like once you say I do, to us, like we're thinking, yo, God was there, everybody was there, everybody saw this, and I'm trying to go through with this, you know. But for women can they can talk a lot.
I would beg to differ. I know a lot of women, man,
that want to stay in marriage,
and they're still there. It's just sometimes it's a lot to start all over again with someone new. You know, it's really a lot.
But I mean that's the thing. If they're in it, right? At the end of the day, it comes down to, even if they're not happy, but at the same time, there's somebody there. You get me? I think that's where it is. That's the point where even those people that are not happy in their marriage, but there's somebody there.
Yeah, that could be a whole nother segment where it could be titled "Why Do People Cheat?"
And Steve.
Right. Why? No. Just why do people cheat? Like, period. That could be.
Like, why?
You know, many people get into relationships with the idea of like 50-50. Like 50. What do you think about that?
I think
you think it should be 50-50?
I mean, well, you know, after 50 years they add up to 100, but most people tell me it's supposed to be 100
Absolutely.
on each side.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
always what I get from my friends that are married.
Absolutely. If you live with a woman and you guys always do 100% for each other, bruh, that's it. That's all you need. What is 100%? You doing something I don't like? Hey, sweetheart, you know, such and such. Or the man comes home, he took off his socks and put it right there in the living room. Don't yell. Take those socks, then put that thing in the laundry room. That's what you signed up for.
But listen, this is the end of the segment right here. Thank you very much for coming on, you know. And I want to tell you that, you know, and I want to thank you for coming on, but at the same time, I want to thank you for, you know, the maturity and that growth wise, you know what I mean, from the guy I used to know,
There we go.
the Yazid I used to know. You get me? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I gotta let you know that, I mean, I gotta tell you that,
There we go.
I really, no, man, for real, man.
Yeah.
Changed, man, because in this life, we have to change, you know, we have to evolve, and you've really evolved in that form of, you know, like the way you go with butterfly wise, you know, from the cocoon and then develop into like a butterfly type thing. I really appreciate you, brother, for everything that you're doing and that you're gonna continue to do. We're gonna do different segments. I'm gonna definitely have you back on, and we're gonna talk about, you know, like mental health and just like a salon community.
Absolutely.
Things on how to improve our own salon man and salon community, and the marriage is here too. So there are definitely different things that we're gonna talk about. I do have other people that are gonna come on and talk about this. Santigi, you definitely up next. DJ, you're up next. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on, and
No problem, man.
thank
Anytime.
y'all for staying with us. Till next time. Out.
Easy.
Thank you.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that was a good segment, bro.
Appreciate it.
I learned a lot.